everyone, I'm back and we are doing a follow-up on the EMR Enhanced Magazine release from Madex Pro, as well as their ESS Enhanced Safety Selector, and kind of touch on their pilot program grip that they sent out, more of a 90-degree grip. But first off, I want to go through a couple things, and number one is we've got the Sig Trax here today. This is a buddy of mine's, and I guess what we're going to go over is just the grip in general on this particular product in comparison to the one from Madex Pro. The safety selector switch here, and how nice the stock one is and how not so nice it is. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you the stock safety selector is great when it's on safety and you need to go to fire, but getting your thumb back on it to get it back up and switched over to safety, it's kind of a pain in the neck when you're down in the prone position or when you're standing. You have to get used to using the side of your thumb to flip it back and forth. The big issue that I have with the Trax itself is the stock grip. It's foobar. Like, I just don't like it. It's too thin at the top. It widens out for my hand, but I got big hands. Big hands. And these things are built for making idle work, so I just don't, it doesn't fit me very well. Now, as far as the release, the mag release button, it being inside the mag well, we've all looked at this and we've all gone, man, it's a pain to get in. You got big fingers and it's hard to get into. It's just hard. You have to sit it up, you can pull it out that way. I mean, if you hold it like so and it's on the prone position, you can pop it out. Either way, the stock mag release, maybe if broken in, can drop the mag out a little better. I don't know. This one's only been shot a few times. It hasn't been shot nearly as much as mine. But if we're just going back to stock parts on the Sig Cross, the Madex Pro parts that I'm going to show in just a second, functionally are better than the ones that are on this rifle, this platform. So if we're in a prone position or a sitting position on a bench, let's just get this readjusted here. And you're on a prone position. I can get it in this situation. Let me pull this in a little bit. I mean, it does its job. You know, if I'm shooting off a bench, I get it. Inside thumb, outside thumb, it can be used fairly easily. If I'm going to the opposite side, I'm left-handed, right-handed. This is the biggest problem for me. It just isn't. It's not. Just doesn't feel intuitive. It doesn't feel like it's usable. And then when you go to the mag release here, let me pan this over. The mag release, I mean, you got to jam your finger into that mag release to get it to come out, and it's not comfortable. So I've already gone over that. And we've got the Madex Pro lever. It's got the lower section, the higher section. It's much more intuitive. I mean, so smooth, so easy, just flips back and forth. I don't have to use the side of my thumb to flick it back. Goes in nice and easy. Let me zoom in. Just easy. When you're on the left-hand side, you want to flip it around. It's ambidextrous. Works great. We'll go back to this side. It feels good. Feels good. You're up. Yeah. I mean, it's a much more comfortable and intuitive design. Now, I put these on here to where they're comfortable for me. I've seen a couple different alterations. I don't believe that this is the way that Madex Pro suggests these to be installed on yours. I have to go back and review. I'll put a comment in the section below, but as far as comfortability, it's there. Now, mag release, you're going on the inside of the button, it's still the same. It's still a pain in the neck, regardless of whether or not the mag release on the inside is still a pain in the neck. It still doesn't want to drop the mag. But because Mate-X Pro has this lever down below here, it's sexy. I mean, that is not hard. It is just a simple, easy push of the button below the trigger guard, and it's nice, and it's clean. This inside one, you gotta put your finger in there just right. You gotta get past the trigger. You got a pair of gloves on, kiss that goodbye. It just doesn't, you're shooting with gloves in the wintertime, that's gonna be a nightmare. But underneath, Mate-X Pro, I'm telling you, this enhanced mag release is it's the way it goes, man. Especially with this for an adaptive system, something that nobody's come out with for the stock Cross. This really works. Goes in and out real easy, and it's so much nicer. I mean, look at that. So much nicer. We go back to the Cross Trax. Nothing there. Doesn't work, right? Anyways, you gotta go back into the trigger guard, and even that, it takes way more pressure. Way more pressure. And I may be killing a dead horse here, but I mean, way more pressure to drop that than this one. This one is half the pressure on the bottom side. On the bottom. You go to the inside of the trigger well, it's exactly the same. So I can't say anything about the inside of the trigger well. It is the trigger housing itself, that portion is a nightmare, but below the trigger guard is killer. It really is killer. You can't beat it. If we're going back and forth, we've got the mag release, which is amazing. The enhanced mag release, easier, more comfortable toggling of safety to fire, excuse me. And then that's where that's at. Now, if we go on to their grip, their pilot program grip that they sent out for testing, it's really suited for the 90-degree shooter, long distance shooter off on the side. And of course, I'm going to say that's what it's that's what it's designed for. The guy who has designed and made these, I'm in the interpretation of, is just a fantastic shooter. And his angled grip it might fit his hand pretty good. I'm not a fan of the grip itself. I've never done shooting with this in this position. This would be the first rifle that I shot like this, and I did put a lot of rounds down with my body trying to adjust to this system, and I feel as though with this grip being the 90 degrees that it is, a different safety lever switch would probably be better, because if it was wider, had a longer thumb rest on it, it might be a little more comfortable. For me, it's not the thing. But as far as the actual grip goes, with my thumb wrapped around it and sitting in the web of my hand, it's comfortable, and I can shoot so much better with that system. And that's just what I'm used to. I can't comment too much on this, but as far as being comfortable with this and the mag release, just can't beat those two items that are being sold for added parts onto this rifle. That's that. I mean, let's look at what the Magnum rifle has done, what Sig has done for the Magnum rifle. What Sig has done for the Magnum rifle is they've added a, can we zoom in on that? They have added a flared section off to the side of the trigger housing. And what that does is it really allows you to just go in right along the side and it drops. And I mean, it's nice. The Magnum rifle with this mag release, it's fabulous, guys. Not to say anything about the stock system. The stock system on the Sig Cross, I just think is junk. It's old-fashioned. It's outdated. It's not up to date. But on the Magnum, they really updated a couple things. One, personally, I feel like they may have taken notes from Madex Pro and listened to people about how big of a pain in the neck it is to release the magazine on the inside of the trigger housing. Because this flared out section it's ambidextrous. It's on both sides. You can see it. It's comfortable. It's kind of knurled. It's got some knurling marks on it in order for your finger to grip it and drop, as well as to allow you to stick. You can physically hear my finger stick to it when I want to release it. So they've done really good on that. Now, they've added this safety lever or selector switch, which I love. It's great. For this particular rifle, it is amazing. Your finger sits on it really comfortable. I think the mixture between this and the Madex Pro Pilot Grip might be fabulous. I may switch that out just to check it out. But as far as the safety selector switch on this rifle, I think that they really upgraded it and killed it on this one. I mean, this is comfortable. It's got a little bit more of a springy feel than the Madex Pro. It's got a little bit more of a. This one's got. Just doesn't have as much of a. I can't say it. This is more of a clink, 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 back and forth. You can feel it in the texture when it moves. That's not Madex Pro. That is just the spring system that's in there. I assume they're the same, but maybe the weight of this larger switch makes it feel smoother. It's not tink, tink. It's more of a tonk, tonk. But as far as comfortability goes, the larger safety selector switch is really good. The Madex Pro makes it a lot better for the standard cross, and we're good to go for those. That's about it. I mean, I can't say enough about the Madex Pro parts. I do have to get more downrange with this particular grip. I need to get a few more shots off. I've only got about 100 shots through this with this particular grip. I still don't feel it, and I think that it's because it's in design mode. He's been designing it, and then I believe these are 3D printed for testing before they go into full production. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. They are a sexy grip, but I believe it's the texturing. I'm a textile guy. That the spring on the safety switch either turns me on or doesn't, and this is like halfway there. Like, I want to stand up on end and be happy about it, but at the same time I just want to not be happy about it. And I think it's because of the texturing that way. The texturing down the grip is what's driving me nuts. But other than that, I dig it, and I got to put some more rounds through it. So between all three rifles, we really have a better best scenario, and I can't. Sig listened on the Magnum, and they made a lot of improvements on it. I do not know about the improvements that they may have on any of their other variants, but on the Sig Trax, it's basically the Cross Trax. It's basically the same as the Cross, except for it's got the lightweight stock, it's got the narrower grip, not my deal, and it's got the standard safety selector. And so better or good, best, really good. Everybody's got to make their own opinion up, but that's it for me, guys. And I can't say enough for Madex Pro. They really knocked these out of the park. And I've been delaying. He supplied these to me. He let me test them. He's let me shoot them or use them for shooting. And I've delayed on getting this out. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got a lot of products showing up specific to the Cross. Specific to the Cross. We are going to be doing a review. We are going to be doing a review here pretty soon on barrel installations from one manufacturer, as far as 2 raffles, or not raffles, more sweepstake giveaways for 4Ns, and you gotta stay tuned for that. 4Ns may have a giveaway for a couple shooting rest bags. We also have an option for another company who's going to be coming down the line to throw out a couple of products for our Cross owners. So stay tuned for that, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.